Hello.
Hello, buongiorno, or buonasera, or
Yes. Well, buongiorno for
buonanotte
me.
for me.
Yes.
Italy,
Welcome
Italy.
to our Design Your Life podcast. We took a
Yes,
week off so Amy could go to Poland.
yes. Oh my
Wonderful
gosh,
trip.
beautiful. I will never do Halloween the same way ever again.
Really?
It changed my life.
What was the number one thing you brought back from there?
The hope that I had, when you lose somebody close to you, like I've lost my sister Lynn a couple of years ago. And then going to the graveyards and everybody was going to the graveyard. It wasn't just like a couple of Catholics. It was everybody was going to the graveyards with their candles and their flowers. And it was so
Really?
beautiful to see them, pray for the dead. And when I saw that, it was so moving because um, it gave me such a beautiful thought and the, the the thought of hope, because here we are amongst the living and we're embracing what's going to happen to us at some point.
Yeah.
But to see everybody praying for you was just, wow, this is so beautiful. It was just, I was crying. It was tears of hope. It wasn't tears of, I lost someone, I'm never going to see them again. It was like, oh, I can't wait to see you again. Like, this is going to be great. We're going to party.
That
So
is beautiful.
yeah,
It
yeah,
sounds very, like sometimes there's this fear of the unknown about dying. And
mhm,
to have that hope, I think, is where, you're able to release that fear because
yeah,
there is hope. And
yeah.
so when you see something like that, I mean, I saw your pictures, obviously, they were gorgeous. And it just looks so beautiful. And it reminds me of the Day of the Dead celebration.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm. Yeah, uh, but they did it with, the flowers and the candles. So it was just, like I said, very, very moving. And the kids didn't go without either. It's not as though um, they had these like tents, this like little market when you walked out of the graveyard, and they had, like little candies and things and sweets for the kids. So they didn't go without, but that wasn't the emphasis.
right.
And that was just so profound, where I kind of feel like in the US it's a gimme, 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 gimme.
Mhm.
Whereas in Poland it was let me give, let me give my time for an hour or two to pray for you, so it was, yeah. I mean, it was just such a very moving and beautiful experience. So
It sounds like
touch
it.
with, yeah, it
Yes.
was like it was a touch with the divine.
Ooh,
So
that's a beautiful gift.
yeah, it really was.
I we don't experience those very often, but when we do, they're so profound and have such lasting impact on us.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. I'm hoping that, my kids were also equally as moved, and they wouldn't mind doing something like that again next year. So other than the walking, it's a lot of walking, and for little kids, it's a lot.
Yeah,
So next year we won't do as much walking, and they'll have, I think, a better time.
interesting. So you had to do a
Yeah.
lot, like walking through the graveyard or walking to the graveyard.
Oh, just walking to this church, to
Oh,
that place,
okay,
to
gotcha.
this place. I mean, Europe is just, that's all you do is walk.
Yes, yeah. I mean, yeah, that's why they can eat the pasta.
Right. Exactly, exactly, exactly. All right.
Oh man. Well, that's a beautiful segue into today's discussion about contribution. So,
Contribution. What's the
yes.
purpose of
Oh my goodness. I don't know. You want to talk about that? I think that would be a beautiful thing. Well, we want to talk about the steps, right? Like the steps to
it?
contribution. Is that okay? So yeah, let's start. You, I'll segue us into it, and you can share your beautiful gift for eloquently sharing what that means. So the first step of awareness.
Oh, now I go. Yes.
Go.
First,
Sorry, I didn't do
back
one to you.
to you.
Back to you,
So,
Amy.
our contribution, yes, it always starts with awareness, and that we expand our awareness of what our contribution is, and what's the purpose of that contribution and that awareness is to give of our higher self, right? It's to know that not only am I valued, but you are also valued, and that my mission, my particular in Amy's world mission is to contribute what God has put on my heart, that desire, right? That dream, and that only I can fulfill. Jacki only has a dream that she can fulfill. And that way there she gives her light. And it's a receptivity of a giving and a taking, right? In that way that you contribute who you are, all of who you are, to the people around you. You're going to the grocery store, and you just say something just to perk up their day. And it's not just to be fake. No, you're being authentic.
Right.
I really think your dress is beautiful. Can really turn around somebody's heart, right? Can really turn around somebody's day. So you never know in your contribution how you're showing up, right?
Yeah.
And it's just that awareness. And we, we need to study how we show up, because we need to study our actions and how other people observe who we are, and then reactions. And we need to study how people are reacting to us, and how that all plays in that becoming a better person, right? That higher self, that higher calling all the time, right? Because when you observe how people react, sometimes you might not have, or you might be saying to yourself, look, I don't have really good friends, or not good friends, I don't have friends, or I don't have people that I can really talk to. Well, okay, what is it? Is there something in your behavior that's repelling rather than inviting? Our posture. Yeah, we talked a little bit of, no, I talked about that in my workshop. Anyway.
Someone has
I don't know where I talked about it.
But somewhere you talked about it.
Yeah.
So we have heard it.
It's important. Is it inviting or is it repelling? Right. So, and if we're not showing up as our highest self, it's something that we can work on. So when we observe ourselves, we study ourselves, and then we study the other people who are reacting to us, right?
Yeah. So that's very profound.
And
I want to question, excuse me, how you're reacting to people too. I would think. Do you think that also has something to do with our contribution? Because, a lot of times I've found maybe we show up negatively, or like we have that negative thought about what people are trying to say to us, instead of, seeing it from the good perspective of, well, what do they mean by that? Or, but not becoming, I think that kind of falls into the, like, how we're showing up, because how are we also receiving other people in that contribution? Because you can make someone feel good about you also by the way you react to them, the way that you react to what they're saying and stuff. So, anyway, that was just a little side.
No, that's so true. I had this one person. It was kind of funny. This person would talk about their mother in a very negative light constantly. And then this person turned to me and said, "Oh, you remind me a lot of her." And then, that fox pass of, oh, but not the bad parts, just
Right. Like, well, but what are the good parts? Because I don't think I've heard those.
Yeah, exactly. And what were those good parts? But I was taken back because we need to be, it God puts people in our lives so we can
That's humility, right?
there was definitely a humility in that. I was like, okay, so
Yes.
that's something I need to work, whatever it was,
Mm,
in that way that I was showing up to this person,
mm,
just didn't gel, which, is okay. People do have their own um likes and dislikes about people, which is fine. I mean,
right.
but in order to say it that way, it was just like, what? Your reaction to me is this is
Mm.
how you're saying that? Okay, well,
Yeah, but in looking at that, like my mind is going to there's that self awareness. And was she being self aware in that moment to realize that maybe she didn't realize how she was focused on the negative of her mom?
that's
And
very true.
maybe she thought that she had told you some positive things at some point. I don't know. But that's a really good segue into that self awareness part too, because I like
Yeah.
to think I'm self aware, that I'm always looking at my behaviors. And I've learned to try to ask myself, like, what does God want me to learn in this moment? Like, instead of always reacting to other people or to, see the bad, to really look at it and go, okay, so what is God wanting me to learn? Like, my humility, the litany of humility has been life changing. Like, just to know I need to show up better. Like, if I'm rubbing someone the wrong way, like you said, but, am I aware of how negative I am? I don't think sometimes
Mhm,
we're aware of how negative we are. I know
mhm.
sometimes I'll hear myself and I'll be like, ooh, I need to like chill. So let me throw in some positive statements really quickly, because that just was not who I want to show up as. So, yeah,
Right,
I
right.
think that that's, these are such good things that we could all
Yeah,
benefit from knowing.
yeah. It
So,
was definitely a learning moment, for me, and in that, and that's important. You mentioned something really important is the humility. The
mm,
humility to say, "Oh gosh, maybe I need to I need to study myself. I
yeah.
need to study where I'm coming from or how I'm doing certain things, or what I'm saying or how I'm reacting." Um, so, and in order to grow, we have to have a deep level of humility. We have to understand that we're not, um, obviously, we're not perfect creatures, and that
Right.
we're always to that next and highest best self, so we can generously contribute who we are to people, right? And not hold anything, not squander it back. Right? We don't want to
Mm-mm.
do that. No.
No, no.
So our number two is you have reevaluate, right?
Yep.
And and
Elevate and take
take
massive
massive
action. I
action.
love, 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 love that. Taking
Mhm.
massive action. So hard to do.
So you would want to get a friend, a spouse or somebody, and get feedback from them
Mhm.
and be open and receptive to the things that we need to elevate ourselves to be,
Mhm.
um, that, hey, if it's my husband or something, hey, Amy, or asking him, Dana, could you give me some feedback on how I reacted? Yeah, Amy, you could have taken it down a couple of notches. All right. Well, I need to have that humility in order to say, okay, this is who I am and this is where I need to work,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Or you know, uh, Amy, maybe you shouldn't do self-deprecation like that. Something. All
Yeah.
right, yeah, thank you. Thank you for telling me that because
Mhm.
I am made in the image and likeness of God. Right? And I am, this body is his holy temple.
Mhm.
So I need to act like it.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely. And take care of it.
And then go for the second part there, the get a coach, right?
Oh yeah. The get a coach. Who knew until you became my coach. I did not realize how much having a coach would contribute to my life. And
Mhm.
so much so that now I'm a coach too, because it's so key to your transformation. It's,
Mhm.
and I am like speaking as someone who just never, like, I'll be honest, I didn't have the most positive interactions, in the past with like life coaches and things like that. Not so much that people weren't good but just I thought, why would someone need that? Like, what is that all
Mhm.
about? And then when you actually step into that world and you start receiving that from a coach, it's like, oh, I definitely couldn't have done so much on my own. Like, that accountability is key. And also
Yeah.
because it's easy to forget to do lessons. It's easy to forget to, watch videos and things like that because we get busy. But knowing that you have to do that because you're going to talk to somebody about this later is absolutely key for doing that. And
Mhm.
understanding it too, because I can read all the self-help books in the world, but without that actual ability to take the skills and the mindset, it's not going to work for very long.
Right. And it's, ensuring the practical application that you have,
Hmm.
within you working with a coach. And, also too, is that as coaches, we have coaches
Yes.
that coach us. The woman who created the women's school, January, she has a coach.
Yeah.
You know, all of the people who are successful in the coaching world have coaches to level up who they are because it's again, I'll go back to that contribution, that generosity of contribution.
Hmm.
So
Yep. Amy and I
there's
coach
that
each other on a regular basis.
on a regular
You're
basis.
more
Yeah.
so than me, but like,
And Jackie is phenomenal at it.
thank you. So are
Uh,
you.
she really opened up some really beautiful dialogue that I was able to just enter into without judgment, without um, any hiccups along the way, just allowing me to be who I am in that conversation and asking the most beautiful and wonderful questions. I thought was so.
Thank
Cheer
you.
on,
Thank you.
Jackie.
I have to say I had a really great coach. I've had really great coaches, but like, you were my direct coach. So yes, I learned a lot from you. So I appreciate that
Aw.
feedback. And I appreciate you saying so, because I've always thought that you had a wonderful gift for listening and hearing and understanding people and not like judging in any way. And even when I'm judging myself, you're pulling me back out of that judgment. That's what coaches are for, right? Like, we really are learning the absolute contribution that is. And so enough, but
Mhm.
definitely positives. And then
So,
number three,
yep,
study daily.
another part of that is that studying daily.
Hmm.
Who are your mentors? Who are your people that you really admire? Are you studying them? Are you reading about their lives? Are you, um, just admiring who they are?
Yeah, and learning from them, because that's, I think about like um, like if you want to be a chef or something, like you want to study those people and how they do
Yeah.
it and all of that, because we all think we're master chefs after we watch the Master Chef show, right? I know I get in the kitchen and like, oh, yeah, no, I'm not as good as I thought I was. That's a little humbling. I think I missed a few
Definitely.
things there, but the daily study is how you get better. And it just,
Yeah.
and we're constantly studying, like we are constantly learning and growing every single day until the day we die. Like, if we're not, we're
Mhm.
not living fully.
Right.
That was so
Right. Yeah.
profound for me to learn.
Yeah, because our capacity to impact others for the good is to connect to our commitment to growth and personal study, right?
Uh-huh.
Because there's no way around the ordinary. Just you gotta, dive into it. You can't go around it. Can't
Yeah.
go under it. Gotta go through it.
Oh, is that what that was about when we were kids? Who knew that
Absolutely.
that song taught us all kinds of life lessons in it? But when you listen to the
It's
words, for sure. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and it's expanding our mindset to read personal development books and, read about, again, our role models and who they
Mhm.
are. Um,
And
but
watch
if you really wanna
videos, like, yeah.
take that a step further, again, having coaches available as well is really
Mhm.
great for, expanding your mind and your life and your ability to, uh, contribute your best and highest self, so
Yeah,
mhm.
absolutely. So number
Number
4 is our seasonal dream, and just dreams fuel our discipline. I don't know
Mhm,
about you, but I used to not think about dreams, like, as, you're in the throes of raising your kids and homeschooling them like we do. You kind of put your dreams aside, you don't think about it. And I'm always like, I
mhm,
was living my dream. I wanted I wanted a husband and kids, and I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be a mom. And, that, but I never thought about after, like, as they were growing up, where's that growth going to come in, until this last year. And I realized, wait a minute. Oh, actually, 3 years ago, you got me dreaming, because I still have those pages, and I was so excited to see how many of those dreams came true. And they weren't even
mhm,
like really that big a deal. Like, it was just socializing, having a house where people can come and, be a part of that. And boom, here I am. I have this house, and
mhm,
it's great, and I can, invite people into it. I can be that generous contributor to friendships where I've always gotten to go to other people's houses and, be a guest in their home and things like that. So now I can be that person. And I want everybody who walks through my door to feel like they live there. Like, this is your home too. Like, you're welcome here. Kick off your shoes if you want, leave them on if you want. Like, just come in
yeah,
and sit and be a part of our family for these few hours. And, but that was a dream that I hadn't really touched upon. And
right.
then once I did, boom, happened, Like, not, I mean,
100%.
not without the work and everything, but it just, you don't realize that sometimes, that we truly are meant to dream on a regular basis.
Mhm, and you really nailed it. Because it's like, this was my dream happened, and now I'm contributing,
Mhm,
right? I wanted to contribute back to my friends, to my family. I want them to feel welcomed and loved into my home. I
mhm,
want that peace. I want that joy. And this is what it's about. It's getting you from that point A of that dreaming, that seasonal dream, because it
mhm.
may be different now, and it's going to grow and it's going to manifest and it's going to change and it's going to do all these wonderful things. Um, and then it happens. And then boom, there we are contributing our best and highest self, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
My dream, as January challenging me at the time was, I always wanted to move back to Massachusetts, to my hometown, right?
Mhm,
Um, be with the rest of the extended family and our families, to grow up together and do all those things. And that dream actually didn't happen. But another dream that I did have that kind of coincided with that was, like, always to live in Europe, like, or
mhm.
actually Italy,
Yeah.
um, just to experience what it was about. And when the door opened up, it was kind of like, okay, all the doors to Massachusetts were closed.
Right.
Absolutely. The door to Italy opens up. And I remember saying to January, is like, "Well, wait a minute, my dream was for Massachusetts too." And she dead serious looked at me and said, "But that wasn't big enough for you."
Wow.
And it was so true. Like, that hit me like a 2 by 4, because if I had moved back to Massachusetts, I would have moved back into a very comfortable, non-growing place.
Wow.
And whereas moving over to another country, like I tell you, 20 years of praying that Massachusetts would, 20 years of praying, and it never opened. And, I think it was like a month we prayed for Italy, and it was like boom, opened.
Yeah.
No, I could have learned this one earlier. I waited a long time.
Yep.
But it was
Sometimes
true because it
it's
stretched me in ways that wow.
yes. Oh my goodness, girl, you had so much. I mean, it's not funny, but it's laughable now, I think
Yeah,
probably. Are you at
yeah.
a place you can laugh now about the
I'm
beginning
at
of
a
your
place I can
Italy?
laugh at this now. Lord, oh my
I
gosh.
mean, a quick little like hint into what we're laughing about is I think it would be appropriate right now because you saw this dream, God opened the doors for you, and then lockdowns. What? In a
Right?
foreign country. God bless
And
you, woman.
yeah, lockdowns in a foreign country. It has been a ride and a half. Um, but I am I am seeing the contributions that I am able to give. I'm
Yes.
seeing the growth in my own self. Um, even though, there are definitely struggles. I remember one time I was talking to Ryan and I said, Ryan, this is not a dance party. It's just stressful. And he was like, sometimes you just have to call it for what it is. And it was. I mean, you're moving to a whole other continent and none speaking English and COVID and all that other stuff. So
And it's all sorry, I got some technological note here.
that's all
Talking.
right. It's yeah, and it was all just, one wild ride, but I've grown in so many different ways, in my capacity to contribute my best and highest self for my family and for those around me. So, oh, you're no, 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 stop, stop, stop. I can't hear you. I don't know. Can you hear me still? All right, I'll keep talking. So, um, in that season, we have to find the why, right? We'll figure out the how. You have to find your why for your contribution. You have to find your why for your dreaming. Why do you want this? And we invite you to just get curious about that part of your life. Just take yourself into, your room, shut the door. What is my next dream?
Mm.
Where am I going? Because if you find out that why, that is so necessary, you'll figure out the how. That I love that. And I think, like, yep, I can hear you.
Okay, good. I was like, I don't want to interrupt you, but maybe I'll just say like yeah or something and see if you can
Yeah.
hear it. Anyway, that was weird.
And number 5 is our self-image and
Oh,
design how we want
yes.
to show up and expand our current self-image to be congruent with the new dream, right? They have to go hand in hand. Our
Yes.
self-image, who am I going to be? Wow, that lady's going to be phenomenal in that new season of that dream. Like, how am I going to grow into this person, right?
Yeah.
So those are the 5
Yeah.
steps of conversion.
Well, and as part of that too, like just, being able to discover that unique gift of you, like what your contribution is. It was
Yes.
amazing when I was thinking about this, because you don't always think about these things. Like if you're a teacher, it doesn't matter like how many PhDs you have, initials or whatever after your name. It's that contribution that you bring to those kids. Like that's the best teachers that I've heard people talk about are the ones who genuinely cared about their students. And I know so many beautiful teachers who care about their students. Like it's not about anything else but contributing to their learning and their ability to learn. And
Mhm.
but even more profound, because we, you know, uh, especially like you hear a lot of talk nowadays about companies and how greedy they are and things like that. And it's so impactful. Like when you think about, okay, a CEO, your company could be making billions of dollars, but if your employees are not happy, there's no contribution there. And your employees won't contribute, you're not contributing, like all of those things. I look at different companies and I see, how is your CEO engaging? How are they contributing? And yes, it's about the money, it's about paying people and stuff like that, but also it's about the atmosphere, like the not the atmosphere, what is like
No, you're right. It's
the
it's about the atmosphere. Exactly. That's a
yeah,
great
like
word for it.
how are people showing up at work, and are they
Mhm.
inspired, or do they want daily to like be their best selves? Or are they coming in like, I'm bored, I'm stuck in a rut, like I can't grow here, looking for other jobs, things like that. And like you don't think about that as a
Right,
contribution, but it is.
right.
It's so profound and it's so key for what we need in our lives and the lives of others.
Yeah, and it could be like a billionaire CEO or it could be a janitor,
Yeah.
you know. We're all called to that best and highest self. And if that
Mhm.
person who is cleaning up, how are we treating them and how are they being um receptive to that treating? Are
Right.
they, if you are the CEO and you're treating your janitor like crap, then
Yeah.
there's no authentic contribution. You could have all of the $1 billion in the world, but if you're going to treat that person with the
Mhm.
disrespect or whatever, you've lost all the meaning of what it's supposed to be to have wealth, right?
Mhm.
And to contribute your best and highest self. So
Absolutely.
you
You know, I
validate.
it's funny too in talking about that part. Not, I keep saying it's funny. It's not funny. Like I don't even know what the right wording is. But anyway, it made me think about, just something that I've kind of we talk about scripts in the women's school and things like that. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily a script, but today I'm gonna say it's probably more of a script. Like you will never look into the eyes of someone God doesn't love. And that
Right.
has been life changing in my perception of like, even in the car, when that person cuts me, I just tell myself, you will never look, even though I'm not looking into their eyes, you are driving on the road with other people that God loves.
Yeah.
And if I'm called to love
God,
like
here
he
we go.
does, I probably should not be cussing them out. And that makes me think of the like this is a beautiful quote that I somewhere in all of our training we've heard is your mission flows from you. Therefore you owe it to yourself to cultivate who you were created to become in order to impact the world. There are no two, and you said this earlier, there are no two people with the same contribution. When you stay small, the world is robbed of your unique gifts. And I had
Woo.
to quote that directly because like there's no way to like reword that because that is absolutely beautiful. And what
Yep.
kind of, and I don't know if it ties in or not, but another thing that really impacted me was um, knowing in all of the contribution that we're doing, like we also need and want friends who are
Mhm.
constantly contributing and growing and asking how they can be their best selves. Because,
Right.
you are what the sum of the five people closest to you
5
or
people that you
something.
hang out with.
And
Mhm.
so, I used to say when I was young, and I'm sure a lot of young people have said this too, oh, maybe I can help them grow, or be better or anything else by my behaviors. I'm not going to be influenced by other people. I'm strong in my faith. I'm strong in this or that. Yeah, no, it really doesn't take much to stray off that path that God has you on. And
Right,
especially when we're young, we are
right,
way more susceptible to that.
right.
And that's just such a thing. If teenagers could learn this, if young adults could learn this, just even in relationships, like my heart hurts when I see women hurting in, trying to find that wonderful guy, that guy who treats them with the dignity and respect and everything that they deserve. and they're not, they aren't, the men aren't. Where's the contribution? Like,
Yeah.
where are you thinking about how you're contributing? And
Right.
it's just like, I wish I'd known this stuff. Like, I know we're
Right.
hard headed when we're young and we think we know everything, but oh my goodness, that's, if this kind of stuff could impact young people, teenagers and young adults and singles and, anybody, like, it's
Yeah.
just, it's for everybody to know these things, because
Yeah.
we are integrated, we are whole, and we have
Mhm.
to have every part of our arena working together in order to be our best selves and to
Yeah.
contribute. And uh, it's just there's such a crisis with a lack of integration. You know,
Yeah.
there's just
Yes. Yeah, when we have that dis-ease or disembodiment,
Mhm,
like we talk about sometimes that, we that anxiety, that worry that, I'm just checking out.
mhm,
I don't wanna be here anymore. That
yeah,
disintegrated, we become we don't contribute ourselves. We
mhm,
hold back, and I love how that was said, like, you know, don't be so small that you're gonna hold back to the
yeah,
world what you have to contribute. And so that is very, very beautiful. And we even talked about that, I think, in the intimacy, especially for single women or, men, if you're listening to this,
yes,
um,
which you
that
can. We aren't just talking to women.
you can. Um, but the reason why you date is to contribute,
Mhm.
to have that contribution towards that person, and am I becoming my best and highest self for my future spouse?
Right.
Am I being that woman?
That's so
Am I
beautiful how
becoming
you just tied that in. Yeah, because
Yeah.
I mean, it really shows the exact how and why of like the integrated whole person. Because
Mhm,
the contribution has everything to do with the intimacy, and the intimacy, I
mhm,
mean, even the wealth. Like, if you want to contribute and you have this negative view of wealth, and we're going to talk about wealth again on Black Friday, by the way. But also, like, if that was a workout, that was not us. That just happened. So I'm gonna call it divine intervention. But anyway, so our wealth, like contributing, if we want to contribute, like, it's okay. Money is not evil. Like they say that money is the root of all evil. Well, it's not. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil.
yeah,
But if
exactly.
you want wealth in order to impact people, because you want to be able, like, my dream is to be able to feed people, like take this bread that I've learned to make, and, grinding the wheat and all of the nutrients that come with all of these things. I want to be able to contribute this to others, but I do have to be able to provide financially to purchase those things. But
Mhm,
that's where, like, if I'm trying to build wealth, it's not because I'm trying to like go on massive vacations and things. I want to
right,
contribute to the world. I want to contribute to my community and the people, So that's not a bad thing.
right,
It's not a love of money. It's a contribution. And so,
right,
sometimes we get to talk about our desires and contributions. So,
right. Right, absolutely, absolutely. Alrighty. Girly, this was a
so do
great
you want me to
conversation.
share that one other thing that we thought was really fantastic, that I don't remember where I got it,
Oh,
but it
yeah.
was a great quote. You are not
Yes.
here to get by. You are here to contribute your integrated whole self in order to impact and elevate every person you encounter. You are the gift. And what Amy and I
Yes.
will tell you is, what we offer as coaches is real transformation. We're not promising
Mhm.
you things we don't deliver or can't deliver. If you're tired of going it alone, we are here. And this is one of our forms of contribution to you all.
Yes.
So,
Mhm.
on that
Amen. Girl, I
note,
love that.
go out on a
That
high
was
note, right? That's what they say.
that was great. I love it.
Fantastic. We work so beautifully together. I love it.
Me too.
This
I
is
love it too.
it's such a gift. I look forward to these every week.
I do too. I do too. Very much so.
And I hope everybody else is enjoying them too, because we certainly are.
You know how to do it.
You know it, girl. Well, I will say buonanotte to,
Buonasera. No, wait,
I think it's,
buongiorno.
yeah, buongiorno
Buona,
still? Yeah.
buona
It's
giornata.
not,
I
yeah.
can do buona giornata.
And I'll go, what? I forgot that one.
Have a good day.
Yes. And I know there's a word for that, but anyway. Or there's
Yeah.
another word I was going to say, but I can't remember what it was. You know, that Italian
Uh,
flutes as soon as I need it, but like 5 minutes from now, I'll be like, oh, that's what I was going to say.
that's what I was doing all the time here.
Ah,
It's
yeah.
terrible on my brain. I know it's
Yeah.
mindset, but
Well,
it's
especially
terrible.
you, mindset. It's bedtime. So, got to keep on that discipline and routine. We'll talk about
Mhm.
that too another day.
Yes,
But
we
yes,
sure
we're going to honor Amy. I don't know why I was going to call you Jackie. We're going to honor Amy's discipline and
will.
say, well, I can't go to bed. It's too early.
Right, right.
They might frown on that at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All right. Take care. Ciao, ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye.